Hello my friends, I hope you feel happy. Today I'm checking this monstrous piece of a model kit, 47 centimeters of Eva Unit 01 awesomeness from Meng. The ultimate Bandai killer. Yes, it is. Quick note, I moved to a new place with my studio, which is my basement. I gained a lot of space now for filming, so good for that. But it will take some time to adapt it perfectly, so sorry for any negative spaces in the frames. So, without further ado, let's review this pretty girl! Looking at all the problems people mentioned about the first ever perfect grade, which was in fact Eva 01, this is ultimate model kit for those who like to go big. It's posable, good looking, have nice LED gimmick and crazy set of accessories. I don't know how many of you enjoyed the iconic Neon Genesis Evangelion. For me it's one of the top 10 things of all time and timeless classic. The story and its psychological side had so much impact on me that it almost changed the way I'm looking at life right now. It was almost as impactful as the Berserk. But of course, Mr. Kentaro Miura work is a topic for a couple hours of talking, as it's simply the best thing that was ever created by a human being, for me personally, period. So let's get back to Eva. I watched it when I was a kiddo and totally underestimated it, as back in the day it was the fights that I was waiting for the most and did not understand a thing of the darker Schopenhauer Hedgehog's dilemma side of this anime. But it's natural, I was too young for that. Years later, after a couple of rewatches, I appreciated what Mr. Hideaki Anno wanted to achieve with the show and all timelines of it. So just right now I can tell you, if you are a fan of the franchise and you have display space, it's a must-have. Heck, even if you don't have the display space, just make one! This is one of the most iconic designs of all time in anime world. You can love it or you can hate it, but you can't deny that it's a timeless classic of the 90s, especially thanks to this epic color scheme. It's so simple in one hand, but in theory it meets all goods of the coral wheel, dual tone rule that catch the eye almost immediately thanks to beautiful contrasts. Model itself is based on the rebuild version of Eva Unit 01 and looks very nice in person, for real. You can't feel the glory of this just by watching a video.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Experience can be achieved only in person. I don't know which version of the design you personally prefer, TV or the rebuild. I think both are great in own terms, but I wish for the TV edition of the Meng model kit. Maybe we will get one in the future. Proportions are fine, it looks good, but the version 1.5 that came out later did some adjustment to keep better balance of the look, especially upper body, chest and head. Also, they advertised that it got better leg joints for stability, so I'm very curious about it and if the Unit 0 and 02 are based on the original one or the 1.5. I will compare them in next Meng's video to show you how much they differ besides the painting, which version 1.5 did not have any. And about that, I must admit that the paint job here is perfect. Colors are vibrant, alive, the glitter finish is eye-catching, color accuracy is 10 out of 10. I was afraid about the quality of paint job, but they did it right. Paint is also very durable and will not scratch just by looking at it. In fact, this kit landed on the floor 3 times cause I was photoshooting an unstable surface and 0 scratches there, so can tell for sure from live test it's very good. I scratched couple places when assembling, but it was made by enormous force of my muscular arms during assembling rush, so in normal situation, 0 problems here. The great thing here is that almost all of the parts are undergated, so you will find 0 knob marks on board on the unit itself. Out of the box, it's one of the best looking model kit I witnessed in terms of post-assemble cleaning, etc. Meng really did the work with love. Some small knob spots are visible on the weapons, but nothing bad or distracting. But there is one thing that bothers me and I don't understand it. The hands. I mean, cool, we have a bunch of them on board, but there is no way by the human talent and capabilities to cut them without leaving marks because of the nature of how they are molded, and it's weird. Also, the paint job on them differs a little. They are not ugly, but for sure could be done a little better. If you pose the hands right, you will not see this, but it's there and waiting to shout of its presence. I've checked other Evas and there is exactly the same problem. On board we have a really nice set of water slides decals. They look fantastic on the model and adds feeling of, let's call it, anime realism. I just love that. Color separation is also perfect. All things here are separated by parts, looking really detailed and beautiful. It's not over the top design by itself, so we do not have crazy amount of mechanical details, etc. But there are some small ones for eyes pleasure. I used Gundam marker to pop them up. We have couple cool gimmicks on board. You can open its mouth, also extend it a little. It's very cool gimmick and adds a lot of life to posing and overall mood of this big girl. So yeah, she can do... About the small details, a lot of people complain about the red teeth and that they are not painted correctly, but in anime, both Rebuild and the TV, Eva got them white only in the part of the anime, so yes, they are red in the both TV and Rebuild, so we can tell that it's accurate to the anime appearance. But if you like, you can paint it white by yourself. Another gimmick on board is that you can open the shoulder pylons to hide the progressive knives inside. And also open the hatch on the back for the entry plug and the LED gimmick, which is really cool. So now, the coolest gimmick on board. When you put the entry plug inside and push it a little, it will activate the LED system. The eyes will glow white continuously and the core will start pulsating, and this is fantastic. I'm so glad that they did this way in the chest and not just a simple light on and off. Purely magic, but you need to watch while installing the LED system. It is soldered very bad, it's very cheap work here. There is a risk of breaking it very easily when installing inside the parts, so you can resolder it to make it better by yourself, which is what I did just in case. Other than that, it works perfect. You need to have two LR44 batteries, as they are not included in the package. To change the batteries, you simply use the umbilical cable plug to detach the pad on the back. So for me and probably most of us, the main attraction here is the size and impactful presence thanks to that. This will be the centerpiece of your collection for sure. It will stand out on probably most of the shelves. Just look at the perfect crate next to it. Looks like a child. So let's take a look at little comparison with other Gunplas. As you can see, it is hell of a model kit. Only thing from my collection that will keep up with the size is the mega size unicorn. So Gundams will not be sad after I assemble this big chunky boy. Oh my gosh, just look at that. This is some serious set of accessories here, and I'm not talking about the amount, but the size itself. The mighty and iconic Spear of Cassius. This thing can be easily used in a street fight, just look at the size. The holding rod is made out of metal, but it's nice, but makes some balance problems with some poses. It would be better to have this as a plastic piece, I think, so the weight would not involve in posing limitations. As you can see, there are two nice looking clear parts, paint job is perfect and I love it to death. Epic, iconic, awesome. I saw in other reviews that the rod ends are loose, but in my copy it's totally opposite. I needed to sand one of the ends to fit to the part. I saw that the paint differs here, as the pegs were not painted in other copies I saw, mine was, so that's probably the fitting problem. But 5 minutes of adjustment and it's perfect now. It sits very nice in hands, so no problems with that, but let's talk about it later in the posability section. The pallet rifle is detailed, nice looking and have cool gimmick on board. The trigger is movable and is on the spring. How good is that? Love stuff like this. As you can see, colors are separated by parts and it's just 10 out of 10 rifle. Welcome, Kazakh! Vulcan Raven would be in heaven. This thing is so huge and massive, oh my gosh. You can turn this part, which is really cool. Now for sure I ain't got time to bleed. Unfortunately, it's very hard to achieve some good posing with that because of the size and weight, but I will try to go to the max with some cool poses in next section of the video. You can also detach the magazine, which is really cool here. And if the spear of Cassius is too big for cutting angels, you can do some damage with these two knives. They can bend and be hidden in the shoulder pylons, looks very nice. Umbilical cable is nicely done and I love this power plug. Yeah, as some mentioned, they could put some metal wire inside to help with posing as it could play as a stand. Very good idea, I must admit. Still very nice as it can be posed very dynamic and natural looking. And the entry plug where Shinji gets wet. Very nice to have this on board, and the fact that how they managed to use it as an on and off LED button is brilliant. Last but not least, the interchangeable hands. Bunch of them and I love to have so many on board. They adds a lot of dynamics to posing and you can choose a pair for every day of the week. Just watch for these small yellow parts. I lost 3 of them and unfortunately can't find them. Probably they jump into the multiverse black hole on the floor or something like that, so shame for that. Now looking at the size, we have well-known problem here with the balance. It's not as bad as some says, but yeah, you must watch for the legs. But other than that, despite some limitations of joints movements, this thing is really dynamic and can achieve all the epic and classic anime posing as well as some serious action. I love to play with that thing. You have a lot to choose from here thanks to dynamic hands and the accessories of course, so almost endless poses are waiting. So let's take a look what this thing can do. So now let's check all the articulation points of the Holy Mother. Head is on the ball joint and also have 2 articulated joints, but be careful with the swivel. There is a cable inside, so you don't want to break it. Mouth is movable. Oh! You can open the hatch on the back. Full rotation of the arm. Little butterfly joint on board. You can move this little armor part. Shoulder pylon is on the ball joint. You can go with the arm as far as that. No swivel in the upper arm. Very nice double bend in the elbow, but I don't like how this part looks when the arm is straight. Hands are on the very nice bendable joint with the full swivel. You can move these 2 armor parts. You have very nice front bend, which is iconic for the Eva. Little to none movement to the sides. You can't rotate the upper body, it's really shame. No Jean-Claude Van Damme, or should I say almost no spread at all here. But you have full rotation of the leg. Little movement in the leg joint. Very nice double bend in the knee. You can bend this part. This armor part is on the ball joint. Very nice movement of the foot joint. And also you can bend it nicely. The build was fun, everything works perfect here, we have really nice instruction manual, very colorful and easy to follow. But be careful and watch for the steps. Part snaps very hard and it's really pain in the ass to unsnap them. They fit tight as hell. For painters, also it's better to think about painting before assembly just to save some time and finger pain. I missed some small parts 2 times when assembling the head and shoulder armors, and it was challenging to unsnap them and not scratch the paint. Other than that, it all snaps like a dream. You need to use some force here and there, but it's better this way than to have loose parts. I just can say one thing: go buy it. It's worth the money. For me it's more than perfect, and for now it's my favorite thing in the studio. It's big, it's well articulated, looks over the top fantastic, have more accessories than you can dream of, and the paint job is perfect, so you just snap it and you have perfect centerpiece in the collection. Price is also very good for what we get. Can't wait to have all 3 of them displayed together. Now I am assembling the yellow cyborg ninja and the red comet Eva, so they will land on the channel soon. Also, the RGs are coming up, so yeah, a lot of Eva content coming between my next Gunpla videos. And speaking of which, this one is coming next. Hope it will live to the hype I have for this one, as this is my top of all and absolute peak of a Gundam design. I was searching over a year for this one to get it for affordable non-scalper price. Can't wait to assemble this big boss. Of course, I encourage you to subscribe, hit the like button and leave a comment below, so the community will grow. Oh yeah, now I'm a rapper. So, see you virtually in my next video. Ciao!